another episode of The Newman Show. I am, of course, your host, Dennis Newman. I got next to me Diane from House Rescue. Tonight we're going to be talking about her charity and our big event coming up Friday.
Yes.
So before we get into that, I just want to recap. I want to thank Roger Nelson for making the trip up to Florida to come on the show last week. He had a little vacation here. He's also a comic, and he did a bunch of shows up here, including one that I went to last Friday, which was really fun at McGuire's, where I finally got to see George Gallo and Darren Dillon live, and they did not disappoint. It was a great, fun show. So I want to thank them for that. And I'm sure he's back in Florida by now, so next chance I get to go out there, hopefully I could do some shows by you. Hopefully Mike will be joining us soon. He's running a little late. But in the meantime, we're going to get the show started because there's a lot to cover. I know that.
Yes.
So we're just going to go right into the sponsors. And first I want to talk about Frank Zambuto and Kayla Logistics. Kayla Logistics, where your business is our priority. Our goal is to provide our customers with end-to-end logistics solutions worldwide. Contact Frank Zambuto regarding all of your international import and export needs. Frank also has domestic contracts with many of the largest coast-to-coast trucking companies in the USA for non-personal cargo. For Newman Show listeners, just mention the Newman Show, and Frank will take 10% off your first domestic trucking shipment in the USA. Frank Zambuto and K Logistics, for your business's priority. And you can reach Frank directly at 347-536-3933 or email at frank@klogistics.com. Frank's on top of everything. I know there's a lot of confusion right now as far as tariffs and stuff like that go. He is not confused by them, so definitely give him a call, and he could steer you in the right direction. Next up, we have Felon for Life. Jason Martin, owner-operator. He specializes in Harleys. He does all sorts of customization and repairs on all your bikes, not just Harleys. You can put on aftermarket products, and the guy knows what he's doing. He helped me out with my Harley, made it sound, from a little putt-putt bike to a Harley by changing my pipes and some stuff. He also has a trailer, so if you're stuck on the road, give him a call. He can come to your house. You're going to pay for it, but no matter what, you're not going to pay anywhere near what you would pay to go to a typical repair shop, especially a Harley dealer. So give Jay a call at 516-996-2780 or skullfan33@aol.com. Look him up on Facebook. And again, Jay is very knowledgeable. He even has a thing where if you want to work on your own bike, he will help you do that. You can come by and he'll show you what to do. And of course, that's going to be significantly less than doing it yourself. Next up, we have the Irish Pub in Baldwin. That's a fun place that I go to a lot. And Wednesday, they have paint night. It's $25. Just message them on Facebook to reserve a spot. That's going to start about 8 o'clock. Friday, they have karaoke at 10. And they're going to do a $30 open bar, well drinks, and domestic beer, which sounds like a great deal. And Saturday sounds like fun. They're going to have a single entry dart tournament, $20 per player, with cash prizes and free buffet for all the players. You got to see Sean down there. He's a good guy. It's a fun place. Sooner or later, we will be doing something there with them. And actually, I'm going to spin this into the show. Diane, Sean wants to do something at the bar, some sort of charity event to help you guys raise money because he loves animals as well. And when I told him what I was doing, he said, you got to have them get in touch with me because I want to do something.
There. Why not?
So, Sean, when you tune into this, as you hear, we will work something out. I have cards, which I will give you one and make sure you guys get in touch with each other.
Absolutely.
Because anything would help. And just a quick shout out to Fred Watkins, who did my logo from Voodoo Hound Graphic Art Design. Fred's a great guy. He spent a lot of time on the phone with me, figuring out what I needed for my logo. And as you see, like it is me.
I'm looking for your logo. There it is.
Yeah, it's right above us.
Okay.
So Fred's a great guy, and he, like I said, he asked me personal questions, show questions, and came up with a logo that was adapted to all of that, and that's what we have.
You need a logo.
So now, all right, let's get into this. I met you because of my cousin and his wife, Frank and Sarah.
Who came to bingo.
And actually before that, they had adopted a cat or a couple of cats from you?
I don't know, but they adopted a kitten.
Okay, it was definitely at least one kitten.
They adopted a kitten.
And they were telling me how great you are and what your charity is, and that
Thank
you
you.
go around and you rescue pets that are about to be euthanized, that there's nothing wrong with except the fact that people just don't want them or whatever sad reason why they're dumping them.
Yeah.
And you'll go around and pick them up and then help them
Find new homes.
find their forever homes, as they call it.
And fundraise for them, which
And
is
fundraise.
the bingo you were event at,
Right.
where you were at. And our bingo events are huge.
Yes, I
which
found
you
that.
saw.
That was amazing because Frank told me come down to bingo. I said okay. I went down there.
Nobody believes how big our bingo events are. We get like 300 to 400 people.
Right. And when I went there and they just said, are you on the list? And I said no. They said sorry, we're sold out. I was like, what do you mean? So I quickly called Frank and I was like, there's no room. He's like, no, there's room. Hold on. So he came up. And in the meantime, I guess you had a wine for sale or something?
Yes, we had a wine pull.
Before it even started, because I got there before the event started, it was all gone. So they said, well, we happen to have an extra table now. We'll just set that up for you. And they did.
But now we've started fundraising early for the bottles of wine because it was such a big hit. We're going to have a lot more bottles of wine.
Okay.
So we're good for that.
So, yeah, I didn't even get to see what that was. And it wasn't just bingo. You guys had a lot of things going on. A lot of raffles.
We do 50-50, which everybody loves because they get to win money. We do the wine pull, so we set up a bunch of donated bottles of wine. We cover them up. We say, give us $10 and pick any bottle of wine, and the wine price ranges anywhere from $10 and up. So it's a good deal. People that are
Right.
wine drinkers. Except we did find out that people were sneaking and looking under the bags.
Cheaters.
You know?
They're probably the type that open their Christmas gifts up early, too, and then
But every
seal 'em.
single bottle of wine went, so now we've had to start looking for bottles of wine earlier.
Wow.
Because we have bingo about 4 times a year.
And that was something. It was a lot of fun. There was,
Did you have fun?
yes, didn't win anything, but it was still fun. But I know you played some different games, too, like Losers Bingo, which I'd never heard of before, which was
Yeah,
kind of
we
fun.
have
I
such
should have got into that.
We have such a cool DJ, Peter Shields, who's been my friend for over a decade. And he's our MC, and he came up with Losers Bingo, so everybody's a winner. So anybody that did nothing that night, he'll call Losers Bingo, and they can come up and have a chance to win. And some of
Right.
our losers win money and good prizes.
Yeah, there was a decent amount of money and prizes given away, and
And you
there
had a
was
good
some
time.
good quality prizes.
We have great prizes.
Ray Romano's brother came down
Yeah,
and
so
gave tickets to his show, to Ray's show in Vegas,
and
and
a
it came with the
and a stay at the
yeah.
hotel, the Mirage.
It was a stay at the hotel.
It's the second
the
time they
tickets
donated
and
that.
backstage passes, I believe.
JetBlue tickets, stay at the Mirage, and to go see his show in November because that's when I guess he's there.
Right, so that, I mean, you're not talking about like chintzy gifts here. These are legit stuff you guys get, and the
No, we
food
got
there was
lots of-
really good.
The food is good.
You had
desserts,
pizza at every table,
Ice cream bar.
ice cream
Come
bar,
on.
which
Did you see
I
the ice cream
visited,
bar?
yeah.
Come on, what did we have? Every topping.
it was everything. And then actually here's Mike, so Mike's gonna come in, so just ignore that side of the screen for a couple of
Mike
seconds.
didn't come to bingo though, so he doesn't
No,
know.
Mike missed bingo.
Nice to meet you.
V said that it was Crystal. Crystal was the cat they adopted, or the kitten they adopted.
Oh, there you
And she couldn't
go.
believe the turnout there either.
She needs to adopt another kitten because it's kitten season and we need
But
to send
actually,
more kittens.
I have a lot of friends that like to,
Foster?
I don't know if they like to foster, but some were interested in what you had because they want one, they don't want one, they want one, they don't want one. So luckily, they asked if there were going to be pets at the show Friday for adoption. I said no, not that I know of.
I wish. You can never have pets at these events if they are, restaurant or
Right.
food style unless it's outdoors. When we have outdoor events, like we've done Tropics on the Nautical Mile. And when we've done, let's put Mike on.
Yeah.
There you go. Are you on there?
We're all
good.
in there now.
When we do outdoor events, we bring lots of animals.
Right. And yeah, she asked if we were going to have a dog on here tonight. No.
I
So
could have brought one. You didn't tell
You're
me.
going to have to just come to the event on Friday.
You should have told me. I
See
would
the
have brought a
pictures because
dog.
you do have pictures, and
We have beautiful dogs and puppies and cats and kittens. I would have brought one. You didn't tell me.
I just found out probably about 2 minutes before we went live that they wanted to see it.
I should
So.
have thought of that.
But yeah, there's the thing that was great about this when I went there and had a good time, and then hearing that Ray Romano and his brother were involved in this. Frank, Sarah, and I were talking about maybe doing a comedy event for you.
Yes.
And the first person that jumped to my mind was my friend Paul Bond. Because as we were discussing on the phone, Paul and his wife basically have their own charity. What he does is he was taking his own money out of his pocket, buying cat food, and setting up communities for the feral cats. He's giving them, paying their medical bills, stuff like that, taking the ones that were adoptable, trying to get them into homes or non-kill shelters, because of course you got to be very careful what you do with them.
Yeah.
And he got to the point where it was overwhelming and he just couldn't handle it anymore. So I said I would do we did a Facebook charity for Paul, and it went well. We got $500 from him like quickly. He's like, oh, what's this Facebook charity all about? So then he started doing more and more stuff. He does comedy shows for that. And I've seen his videos. He's gone out in the snow by himself with a shovel, digging paths so the cats could get to their food and water. He goes out there all the time.
He's the cat guy?
He never tells them where they
He's a
are.
cat
He's the
guy.
cat
Yeah.
guy?
Well, the
You
reason
have your
why-
dog guy and you have your cat guy.
What he
I'm
noticed
more of
that-
a dog guy.
At most of the
Okay.
shelters, what he noticed is that the dogs get all the attention. Nobody really cared about the cats. So,
Oh, that's interesting.
And it depends on the shelter, but the one particular one he was working with, everybody would say, oh, what can I do for the dogs? He has dog food. He has this for the dog. He has that for the dog. He's like, well, what about the cats?
You know what? There's a lot of...
Well, that's why I
there's
would
a
love
lot
you
of
guys
cat
to
stuff.
meet, because I think you guys could definitely help each other out. And that's why when they talked about the event, I couldn't think of anyone else that would be a better headline this event but Paul, because not only is he my mentor and trainer for comedy, but he does have a sore spot for pets, and he would do anything for them.
I'm looking forward to meeting him.
Extremely funny too.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
He's one of the
Okay.
best out there. He's toured everywhere. He's
very musical. Like he does a musical act, so it's
toured with Jim
enjoyable.
Brewer.
Yeah.
He's
I
done
think
the
he
roast with
should. I
Dennis
think he
Leary.
should host one of our bingo events.
I think he would probably love to do that.
Would he like
So,
to do that?
I'm sure. I don't want to speak on his behalf. I know
Let's get him on the phone.
he's actually at a show tonight.
Oh.
So otherwise, I would have tried to have him
You
at
can
least
have him call
call
in.
in or come
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
But what I want to do is tomorrow.
Sorry, Peter, but Paul can do one hosting of bingo.
Tomorrow, I would like to get like a group chat or something going where we could just run through all the fine details of what we need, what you need, and get everything squared away for Friday.
Okay.
But so why don't you talk about your history with Rough House, how you get started with it, and what exactly you do, and the other charities that you have currently going on Facebook right
And
now.
I actually like to hear a little bit more about these bingos. They sound like a lot of fun.
You
They-
missed it.
They are.
We started with that.
We could have
Oh,
squeezed
did
you
you?
in.
So you talked all about it, like how what percentage of the funds go, where they go.
Well, that's why I was going to get into what they actually do at Rough House Rescue.
Oh,
and
okay.
include all of that. 'Cause
Oh, okay.
You do several different charity things. It's not just bingo.
Oh, okay.
So
We do so much fundraising because it's so expensive to rescue animals. Like you're saying, Paul
Right.
dug himself a hole trying to. You can't really pay out of pocket. It's too
Right.
Now,
expensive.
a rescue is different than a shelter, right? Like we should get
People,
that.
yeah.
Right, we should explain that to
important.
some people might not even know that. Like a rescue, you guys hear about a dog that's either in distress or
Well, there's
know.
a huge difference between shelters and animal control than rescues, right? So rescues are generally volunteer-based, and they screen applicants, and they are funded by donations only, and so
Only.
they're non-for-profits, as opposed to a shelter which is funded with your tax dollars, and you have people that are going there, it's their job.
right,
In volunteer rescue, you have people going there because it's their passion.
right.
There's a big difference, and a lot. The work is different when you have people that are going there because they really want to be there for the animals. So
And you depend solely on
fundraising, grants, and
no.
donations.
Fosters, like people who foster,
We
or is
actually-
there actually a facility? where you
We've
can
always
keep
had a
dogs?
facility.
Okay.
We've always had a facility. We fundraise. We do bingo now about 4 times a year because it's become such a big event because people like it and they
Yeah,
enjoy it.
it's
It's
fun.
fun.
Yeah, and it's easy. You know,
It's
you
a
know,
cheap-
you're familiar with the Rockville Center Parish, right?
yes.
You couldn't
But we-
even get in the place. It
But
was
we also
packed.
do it at Levittown Hall because we try to spread ourselves out. But so yeah, we've been building on the bingo event, and we do them about 4 times a year, and we have to do them because rescue is so expensive. But people really enjoy it, and they come. And we have we do summer events. We've done things at Pops in Island Park and years ago, and we've done tropics and outdoor events and. We've done paint night, like you're saying that, but
Right.
we do everything to raise money, and then of course we raise funds on Facebook, which is the easiest.
Right.
Especially when you put out a plea to your volunteers and your donors and your adopters to raise money.
Actually, V, I'm going to put you to work a little bit, throw a little curveball at you. If you can, look up Rough House Facebook and the charities that they had, the fundraisers they have. Can you just post them on the
thank
show
you, yeah.
in the comments?
Rough House Rescue NY.
And so back to the original, like what got you started with, how did you start with Rough House?
So I think like anybody that loves animals, I used to rescue kittens in my yard and, animals in peril. And then I had a business for a lot of years, and I decided one day that I wanted to do more with animal rescue, and I just flicked a switch and I started pulling animals from Manhattan ACC, Animal Care and Control in Brooklyn. We rescued a lot of pit bull breed type dogs back in the day. Then we expanded to, we want rescue to we didn't really finish, but we were talking about the difference between rescue and shelters.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go back to that. Shelters are funded with your tax dollars, and they, by and large, euthanize animals for space. Rescues take them out of the
And
shelters.
most of them are surrenders. Yes, like people come in and like, I can't handle this dog.
Yes,
or,
and this time of year, it's not even that they can't handle it. They just
well, they just get sick of it. Right, it wasn't what they
surprised
thought it was.
You'd be surprised this time of year, people are going on vacations. They'll take their 13-year-old dog or cat to the shelter because they have to go on vacation.
That's disgusting.
It's so, you try very hard not to judge and you bite your tongue. And I think after you're doing it a while, you just realize you're in this to, kind of like, move things along. So you kind of bite, you're not really going to change people at that point. Although we do try to educate about spay, neuter, vaccinating, all that stuff. But
Right.
So shelters have funding. People go there, it's their 9-to-5 job. The town of Hempstead shelter for a lot of years, I don't even think they're open on Sundays for adoptions. And for many years, they weren't open on Saturdays.
Yeah.
Now you tell me,
Who can go Monday through Friday?
now you tell me if you have the best interest of the animals, right?
Right.
So, and in fact, Laura Gillen adopted from us the new county supervisor.
Town supervisor.
Town
Laura Gillen,
supervisor.
Yeah, town of Hempstead. Yep.
Yes, she adopted from us, and she's trying to do a lot for the town of Hempstead shelter. But
They need help. They had a real dark period, from what I understand. I have
It's
some friends
still-
that are in the SPCA.
it's
Do you
still-
guys work with the SPCA?
we do. Yes, I have some friends with the SPCA. It's still dark, and there's a lot of like I said, at the end of the day, it's
a job.
It's messy and it's a job. Rescues and volunteers go in there because they want to save the animals. No one's paying them, and by the way, they're spending their Saturdays and Sundays sending these animals home when the shelters are closed.
Exactly. Right.
So there's a huge difference.
Now, do you get phone calls about like animals
All
in
day,
distress?
every day.
Now,
Well,
do you convince? Now, these are owners, right? So, do you have to talk to them about surrendering the animal?
we
Is
get
that how
phone
that
calls
works?
all day long. I get people that say, someone called yesterday and said her sister was arrested and she has 2 pit bulls and can we help her? And
Oh, wow.
someone called. It's all day long. Someone called and said they have a 10-year-old pit bull and their son is now allergic. Some people have 13-year-old, little dogs and they can't keep them anymore. They're moving. Some woman called because she had to have a liver transplant, and on and on and on. So, that's why you have shelters, because
Right.
the animals need a place to go. But it's not really necessarily in their best interest to go to the shelters. They're better off going to rescue groups who could hopefully put them in a foster home. It's a nicer way to.
Well, every shelter here on Long Island's a kill shelter.
A lot of the shelters do kill for space.
And what is a typical hold? Like, what's the longest they'll hold before they euthanize?
Every shelter is different, but an owner surrender, technically, in most shelters, can be euthanized right away because it's not a stray, and
Okay.
no one's looking for it. So if
Okay.
they're full, then they can euthanize that pet.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, so if
A lot of
they
people
find
don't
one
know.
wandering around,
They have to
they'll
hold
hold it because they think somebody might be
three,
looking
5,
for it.
10 days, or if they deem the dog to be not adoptable, they're probably not going to hold it for too long. I mean, every shelter is different, and the conversation is also how long do you keep them in a shelter that it's humane and fair to them.
Exactly,
To which
yeah.
I say, we can do better. We can get out there. You're getting paid. You can get out there on Saturdays and Sundays and do adoptions and send them home and work harder.
Yeah, did they even do? I've never really seen. I'm sure they do it at town adoption events, but it's nothing like you guys do, right?
No.
I gotta ask Jay actually, because I think his wife works with the town of Hempstead shelter, and he was actually saying they're the largest shelter of any town in the U.S. The town of Hempstead shelter. That's
I don't know that, but I know.
interesting to know.
I know they have a lot of, political roadblocks there, and
And unfortunately, almost everything on Long Island is loaded with political roadblocks, as we know.
yeah.
Right.
So, but at
Oh,
the
I'm
end,
sure even to take the job, like probably Jay's wife is an animal lover. Most people, you're not going to take it, if you don't have some type of love for animals. I would assume. I bet
You never know.
she's-
I mean, people
She
are
might
weird.
be handcuffed though in a lot of stuff she wants to do versus what she can do.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's the difference again between a shelter and a rescue. As a rescue, you're going to work hard for your donations. You're going to pay to vet your animals. You're hopefully going to make sure everybody's microchipped and spayed and neutered. So, and then educating people, please, this is a lifetime commitment. train your pet, have time
hold
for your
them for
pet.
years.
Don't adopt an animal if you know you're not going to be home and you're not going to be able to maybe afford the medical and things like that, which are definitely going to come up.
Yeah, and I know from doing real estate, it's not easy to rent
It's
anything.
impossible in Nassau County.
Even with a small
cat.
dog or cat.
Even with a cat. Nassau County.
And I saw someone, they were kind of half joking, but it was a true story. It's really true. It's harder to, if you have a pet, especially like a cat or something that's quiet and lays there, it doesn't do anything, as opposed to a kid who's running around drawing on the walls, kicking, screaming, doing stuff. So it's actually, you can't tell someone they can't rent an apartment because they have kids.
Nassau
But
County.
you can tell them they can't have pets unless, of course, it's a service animal or something. But
Nassau County is probably one of the most unfriendly. We've moved our location several times. It's very difficult to get zoning to have animals in your neighborhood. Yet, let's think about it. We have Shake a Paw and other puppy stores that are welcome in communities everywhere, and we know that they're getting their dogs from puppy mills. We know
Right.
that. So, we try to look in towns like Limbrook where they have Shake a Paw, and they say no, we can't have any overnight dogs staying. There's a lot of roadblocks in Nassau County. I don't know about Suffolk County. We're in Nassau County, and another issue is the landlords don't want you to have pets. So if you get a cat or dog, just know if you move. We look for longevity when people apply for a pet. It's not that we want to put them through the spin cycle, but we have to be the voice of reason and say, listen, if you're not in a stable situation and you have to move in 2 months, you're going to be hard pressed to find a place that's going to take you and your dog or you and your cat.
And it's funny because a lot of these people are hypocritical because they chastise the people that have to get rid of their pets because they have to move. But yet if they have an apartment, they don't want pets in there.
100%.
They want their pets, but they don't want the tenants to have
And
pets.
do you know any town parks in Nassau County that you can bring your dogs to, or any beaches?
No,
You can't bring them.
not unless they have a dog run. Yeah.
And we had I'm not going to say what town, but we had an animal control officer said, if you're on the beach with your dog, he goes, just run. We won't ticket you if we can't catch you, and we're not going to chase you. So, but I mean, isn't that, so it is very hard to have pets in Nassau County.
Yeah, Jay's making some points saying the town adoption events are huge and cost the taxpayer no extra charge. They go for weekend events and weekends. I don't think that Jay's trying to compete with anybody. I think he's just trying to get by the misnomer that, like, what him and his wife are doing, because he has 4 rescues
Well, I
himself.
think they're trying to make huge changes with the
Yeah.
town of Hempstead
Oh
shelter.
yeah, no, that's what I'm
and
saying. Years ago, it was known
Yes.
as like a really bad shelter to
That's,
stop your
yes,
dog off.
that's what I was saying. Now they're trying to create more awareness, but ask him how long they didn't have adoptions on Saturdays and Sundays.
This really isn't a topic about the shelters themselves. It's more about Rough House Rescue and what they do. Jay, I'll gladly have Christine on here and talk about the shelter, the town of Hempstead shelter specifically. I got no problem with that. But what I was going to say, I had a friend, George. He had a husky and a pit bull mix, because all pit bulls are obviously a mix. And he said, can you find me an apartment? Because the owner of the house I'm in, because he was renting, sold the house. So I have, a certain amount of time to get out of here. I said, no, I'll find you a house before I find you an apartment. He goes, seriously? And I did. I found him a house like that he was able to get in with no problem.
That was
But
great.
finding an apartment,
So
impossible.
hard. It's so hard.
Because he had 2 large dogs. And it's funny because the pit bull was a big baby.
Large dogs are even harder.
Big baby. The husky was the one you had to watch out for because it was loyal to him. Anybody else in there would growl and whatever. Not that it was really going to attack you or whatever. He had it, it was well trained, but it was a much more
Yeah,
intimidating dog.
Let's just talk about regular pets with no issues. Even if you have a pet with no issues, it's very difficult. But it's not. I'm not
And
competing.
some of them, if they're under 10 pounds, they're like, okay, I'll make an exception for that. But anything over 10 pounds, they just consider it a nuisance. And I don't know why, because if it's not barking all day or causing a problem for anyone living in the house, what's the issue if it's there?
Just destruction.
Which, again,
Destruction?
people do more destruction to apartments, and I've seen that firsthand. Like going into these
Anytime you
houses.
move, I rented an apartment. I had to replace the tub. It was black.
Right.
This is 10 years ago, 20 years ago. I rented an apartment. And I couldn't believe the condition that the renters left it in. And they had. Oh, by the way, they had a cat,
Yeah.
and they left the cat behind.
Because ultimately, people are
So
more,
the cat would hang out by the glass door. We had to find the cat a home.
people are more disgusting than humans. Because if the human owns the pet, takes care of the pet properly, there won't be any issues with destruction or crap left all over or
Well,
being dirty.
at the end of the day, it really boils down to the caregivers and the pet owners.
Because I've been at people's houses, you couldn't tell they had animals.
I know.
And I've been at, especially when I worked for cable, there was sometimes walking up to the door, I'm like,
Oh yeah, well
Listen,
no, yeah,
You know.
that's
So
Listen,
that's the people. It's not the
no
animals.
right. It's never right. The animal doesn't ask to, my dog knocks on the door to be let out.
I
He
think
never.
just finalizing on the shelter thing. The shelter in the town of Hempstead has a huge budget, huge. When you have rescues that are basically having to kind of toe the load, basically getting grants and donations, and
Right.
and that's how they survive.
But basically, I think everybody's on the same page with don't shop, adopt.
100%.
Oh yeah.
The puppy mills, like you said, you find.
Not from breeders either, because we have a huge epidemic. We have a big problem. We have a huge overpopulation. We pull a lot of animals from all over the country, sometimes out of the country, but from all over the country. There's big problems with no spay, neutering, and even no vaccinating. And there's a massive overpopulation of when we talk about adoptable pets, most of the time they have no issues. Any dog can have issues. You can get a
Right.
dog from a breeder or a pet store that can
No,
have
without
issues.
a doubt. Yeah.
So it's not even, just forget if they have issues or not. It's more like there's just amazing dogs that we rescue. We pull dogs every week from the shelter, They're just amazing dogs. Our adopters are so grateful, and they love their pets, and we're grateful to them for adopting. But rescue does not mean not adoptable animals. It means
Right.
that they were just kind of chucked to the side, or they weren't microchipped or ID tagged. They got loose. They can't talk. We beg people to please make sure you have a microchip that's registered and an ID tag on your dog. And my comments I always get back is, my dog doesn't go anywhere, and I always say it doesn't go anywhere until it does.
Right.
And then would
it's
you
too
want
late.
your animal
Yeah.
on the street? Now imagine laying in bed knowing that your cat or dog is missing. It has no ID.
Right.
Now you're entrusting the community to find you? It's so counterproductive.
I do see, which is where technology comes in. A lot of times you'll see on Facebook, lost dog, found dog, and people will, hey, this dog was found on this corner in this neighborhood.
But
if
do
anyone
you
knows
know
the
how
owner.
much sharing has to go on?
A lot.
Now, what happens if you just put you can engrave a collar with your phone number? You
Right.
can embroider it.
No, you definitely want
Well,
to
but you
to
also
fill
see
that.
it in community groups, like
But-
like mom and dad, Merrick mamas and dads. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If they find it in that specific area, hopefully it's
And I have
somebody
seen
local.
the happy endings to those stories where they did track down the owner for one reason or
I know,
another.
but I just
whether
have-
it was because it had the phone number on there
I
or because
feel
someone
so
noticed
strongly
it.
I think that it is reckless. And dogs and cats can't talk. I think it is
Right.
reckless not to have them microchipped and registered. And even if they're microchipped, if they get out, when there's nowhere to go to have it scanned, and the only place, the police don't have scanners, and
No,
they should.
They have to
And
claim
they-
to a vet.
And they should. Why don't we have scanners, right, that they can scan the pet? But then sometimes the microchips aren't registered. And a microchip can fail. It can travel throughout the body. It doesn't always work. And an ID tag can wear away. Some of my dogs have my phone number embroidered on the collar, and others wear ID tags. So
Yeah, I have both. My dog's chipped, and he has a thing
yeah,
on his
because
collar.
if your dog is around the block and you lose it,
You know
you're
the
gonna get your
problem
dog
too
back
is
in
sometimes
5
when
minutes.
Yeah.
when you chip the dog, you might not keep that phone number. That was an issue. Actually, I just saw somebody said lost dog. They brought him to the thing. They called the phone number. It doesn't work anymore.
I know, but
There is an address attached usually, but people move.
you have
know,
to stay
you have
like
to update,
anything. But
right.
isn't your cat or dog worth it?
Oh no, I had him chipped instantly. Yeah, as soon as
It's
I
just
got him.
it's mostly laxness, and it's not to criticize. It's just to say I can't even imagine how many people's dogs I've rehomed because of that. Great dogs. They know sit, they know stay, they know pull up. Now maybe they were left at the shelter
Yeah.
on purpose, but most of them, or a lot of them, are probably strays. That's sad.
Yeah.
So a lot of what we do is pull dogs from high kill shelters and vet them, which means vaccinating them, spaying and neutering them. A lot of times, they might have broken legs or be sick. We have an application team, we have a foster coordinator, and we work hard to find everybody a home.
There's people hell-bent on, obviously, purebreds. You obviously get those.
We get those too.
Is that like from puppy mill? When they take down puppy mills, I know some of the places get them from, like you'll hear they took down a puppy mill in Kentucky and they'll bring back 500 dogs or whatever.
We used to get a bunch of pure breed puppies and dogs from a backyard breeder. She didn't even have the money to vaccinate them, and she was inundated. And we brought them in, And we were criticized when we brought them in. They said, "Oh, look, you're bringing in all these puppy mill dogs," and we were like,
What are you gonna do with them now?
"We're bringing them in. We're spaying and neutering them.
Yeah.
We're microchipping them. And we're sending them home, and they deserve it. They deserve to get adopted too." And the breeder reached out to us and said, "I can't feed them. I can't microchip them. I can't vaccinate them. I can't do anything for them." So we took them. We also took the parents, who generally have heartworm,
Yeah.
mammary growths from not being spayed and bred over again, lots of disease, so they cost a lot of money to put back together and then find homes for. So we do a lot of that.
Yeah, I know every once in a while you hear they also get that house of the person who has
Yeah.
30 dogs,
Oh, yeah,
20
yeah.
cats,
Yes, yes.
15 birds, you know, and all living in their own filth and
Listen,
everything.
if you can take care of them and you can afford the vet bills, I'm going to tell you something, the vets are not forgiving. They're just, I mean, anywhere in
No,
the country.
usually those people aren't the most sane people, and usually it's not a good living condition for
No,
any of them.
that's the
and
house
they-
that
you
he's
mean
talking
and
about.
again, they-
hoarding
they-
cases.
yes,
Oh,
then they
that's
all gotta
different.
be,
I thought you were talking about just people that have
No,
lots
no,
of
no,
pets.
no, no.
That's the house you smell it from the sidewalk,
Yeah.
and you're like,
Yeah.
what's going on in there? Yeah.
I've had many a phone call from a vet's office saying, hey, this guy keeps bringing in different dogs, and can you please call the SPCA or contact someone, or this dog always looks like it's injured or afraid,
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's their job. It's just like a pediatrician. Are they mandated reporters or no? Like if they suspect abuse, no. So there's nothing for veterinarians.
No, and there's not enough laws really in place to protect the animals.
No, the laws are pretty. Yeah, they're pretty.
You've seen on
weak.
News 12 and on in local papers like some real atrocities, and it's basically a slap on the wrist. I hope that that's going to change.
Yeah, they've tried.
I
in
see
some
they are
places.
starting to do stuff where abuse is starting to get more of a felony charge instead of just, okay, don't do that again. And Jay was saying his wife cleans out some of the hoarding houses, cleans them out weekly. Sometimes there's 50 to 150 cats.
That's insane.
And that's just, it's not what you want to walk up and see. That's not helping. I mean, I'm sure in their mind they're helping the cats, but they're not.
Now, do you guys
No.
catch feral cats, spay or neuter, and then release them again?
We really, really try to.
Because there's
We'll do-
programs
we'll-
that do that,
We'll do
correct?
TNR if they're feral.
Mm-hmm.
But if we can at least salvage the kittens, we'll spay and neuter them and find
Oh,
them
okay.
homes. We never
All
want
right.
to put them back out on the streets if we
No.
don't have to.
And their survival rates are obviously less.
Yeah,
where the
that's-
adult cat has already lived his whole life outdoors. Okay.
They
Yeah.
actually get to a point where they're unadoptable if they're out in
Right.
the street too long.
Don't mess with a feral cat
Yeah,
that doesn't
no.
want to be messed
Yeah,
with.
exactly.
We'll tell you all about
They'll
that.
tear you up.
And cats are really more urgent than dogs. There's a lot more cats and kittens getting euthanized than dogs. They're a bigger issue. There's a lot
They
of.
breed quicker, don't they?
I guess, yeah. I mean, it's a dogs too, but yeah, I guess I never thought about it that way. But yeah, it's a huge problem with cats, and there's a lot more. It's harder now. I started out as a dog rescue, although I was a cat person. I always had a cat, and people would go to me, "Oh, cats. I like dogs," and I was like, "What's the matter with cats?" Now.
Cats do get a bad rap.
No, not today. I feel like everybody has a cat. And you know what our challenge is now? All our dogs have to be
Yeah,
cat
so I was
friendly.
just going to read.
But
Jay said if you do want to call the town if someone's doing something illegal, because they will issue a summons. But for dogs, there's no laws for cats because they consider cats a nuisance animal.
So
See?
they
And
consider
that's what
cats
needs
the
to
same as a
change.
raccoon.
but I'm gonna tell you, like we
That's
Because
crazy.
dogs, see, that's the other thing too. Dogs, if you see a dog outside, it's supposed to by law be on a leash. Whereas cats can roam free.
Yes.
You don't know the difference between a feral cat
And a house cat.
a house
right.
cat. You know, if you're just walking around, I mean, you probably would know the difference. You could tell, but you look for the collar, whatever. But people don't care.
Why, and the thing is, that's why when you adopt out a cat, we really don't want people to have outdoor cats. The bottom line is, at the end of the day, and I'm going to tell you, eventually they're going to either get into a fight with a cat, they're going to get hit by a car, or they're just going to disappear one day and you're not going to really know whatever happened to them. It's really, we have a lot of traffic in Nassau County.
Yeah.
And you're going to leave, it's like leaving a baby out there. I mean, eventually it's going to...
Yeah, I had an outdoor cat. My cat was mean.
Yes, he was.
And
Yes, he
Well,
was.
fight and win.
Did it start out as an outdoor cat?
Yes,
If they start
it was
out
always
as
an outdoor cat,
That's why.
and that's the thing. But it was a big cat, and it could
Yeah,
fight.
huge. But
They could fight.
he'd be inside half the day, too.
Yeah, he'd spend
And-
time inside,
You know
but
what people
you could
do?
be.
He'd
He
come
was
home messed up
Lucifer.
a lot.
You'd pet him, he'd be fine. And then
don't turn away.
flip
'cause
a switch.
If you were petting him and you looked away, he
Yeah.
would get mad and attack you, and he would cut you through a leather jacket.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he
I
was.
know. Right, you had to keep eye contact with him. The minute somebody said you turned, he nailed it.
My neighbor had a mean Doberman that got out. Like they were bringing groceries in, and the dog darted out. My cat saw this, decided to jump on and ride him like a bull.
Oh my God.
Once the dog finally shook my cat jumped over a fence and just sat there looking at us. The dog was going nuts trying to dig and get through it. It was
I
mean.
have seen cats chase dogs out of rooms. They are
Yeah.
not to be messed with.
But yeah, my cat would come back sometimes messed up. Sometimes the birds would get it because it killed the
But that's what I'm
bird.
saying.
You know.
But your cat already started outside. So
My cat had a big brawl with a raccoon
and
and
you know,
won.
you know,
The
oh
raccoon
God.
was dead in my yard, but my cat was mangled pretty bad, and that was a long time
And
to
imagine
for
if
that.
you have
So
an indoor cat and it gets outside. But you
Yeah.
know what's cool? A lot of people set up outdoor habitats where you can set up a cat house outside, or you can set up something like within the house so that it's more like creative fun because cats like want to be up high or maybe want to be in the sun or cats all they do is lay around and
Yeah.
sweat. And I love cats. I've always had cats. But a lot of people set up outdoor habitats so they don't have the cats running in the streets. That's very
Yeah.
cool. I've seen that on Facebook, and I've seen some people that have them in their homes, in their yards.
what else did I want to get into? So we know about the bingo event. I want to get a little more into the comedy event before we end. But what other charity events have you done, or do you have coming up?
I have to think about that. Well, we do Strut Your Mutt. So we work with Best Friends, which is the huge organization based in Kanab, Utah. And Strut Your Mutt is a huge fundraiser where they do a dog walk in NYC. And it's a walkathon, but you get people to sponsor you, and that's a huge fundraiser. And you
Is
have
that the one where people dress them up?
well,
Or no?
some people just always dress up.
Okay.
But it's a walkathon, and that's in October. But we start fundraising now, so that's like any kind of walk. People sponsor you, and that's a huge fundraiser for us. We have comedy night coming up this Friday night. Stand Up for Pause with Paul Bond, and you're going to be there, right? And what other events do we have coming up? We have our gala. We have our 10-year gala, which is our first time we're ever doing a gala because we are a 501 rescue non-for-profit for
Right.
10 years. So we're doing a big gala, and that will be posted and is posted on our website, roughhouserescue.org.
Did she ever get that up there?
Our
Yes.
website.
Yeah, she posted them.
Okay.
We have great visibility on
Yes.
Facebook, Rough House Rescue New York. We bring in adoptable pets every couple of weeks. We do adoptions every weekend. We have great volunteers that help to send the animals home. And we try to help as many local people rehome their pets as possible.
Yeah, again, going back to the bingo event, it was amazing how many people were there just helping out. And
A lot of our adopters are some people that just came for a first time.
yeah, besides a packed event, there was just a lot of volunteers helping move stuff. You had a lot of food.
It takes so many
and-
people.
Yeah.
How many people did we have at the ice cream bar?
I don't even know. There was a lot. And then there was, there was stations on each side. There was a bar. There was the coffee. There was all the raffles going
Starbucks
on.
comes
Right.
and brings coffee for all of our guests and tea, and they stay and serve it. How cool is that?
So let's get into what's going to happen Friday. So it starts at 7:30.
Yes.
It's at the Freeport Yacht Club.
Yes.
I'm going to be the host. I'm going to be doing some comedy myself, but the main attraction, of course, is going to be Paul Bond, who's doing a full set. And I know you're definitely going to have some other stuff going on because I know you guys just
Well, we always do our.
you have the
you know,
raffles
We have
and
a
stuff.
raffle, and we have the spin the wheel, and we'll have great prizes.
And there's going to be some coffee and stuff available there as well.
Yes,
I'm
it's
sure.
going to be dinner. The tickets are
Right.
$50. It includes dinner and desserts and coffee and open bar. And we spin the wheel for prizes. We have raffle prizes. We'll have the 50-50. We always do all that
And
stuff.
the dinner is from Rachel's, right?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
So Rachel's in Freeport. If
And
you
he
don't know that,
he adopted
they're
from
very
us.
good.
Ivan adopted
Right,
a big,
okay.
beautiful
Yeah, I
dog
know
named
Ivan.
Oreo. Do you? He adopted a big, beautiful dog named Oreo from us.
I know Ivan and Richie. My friend Anya works there. She's
And
a bartender.
his girlfriend adopted a little Chihuahua from us.
Oh, that's great.
So yeah, that's going to be a fun event. Yeah, V just posted again. Can you post the flyer for the event?
I would have brought the flyer. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
No, it's all right. They'll put it on the comments.
That's why I have people at home
Lucky you.
helping out. So yeah, she's going to post that. So that's going to be a great event. It's going to be what, from 7:30 to 10:30.
Yes.
And bring your money. There's going to be a lot of stuff to. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of side raffles and stuff like that as well.
Yes.
Like you said.
Come, bring your friends. It's going to be a really fun night. We're really looking forward to it. And
I'll obviously be there. I'll most likely be hanging out afterwards. So, if you want to do something.
Tickets only in advance or at the door also?
we like them in advance, but some people come to the door. But
So you can, if somebody decides last minute, you know what, let's go.
yeah, there's the link is on our website where they can buy tickets, and there's also Sarah. You can text or call Sarah, and I think her phone number is also on the flyer and on our website. So if you're not on the computer, you can always call for tickets.
Right, because obviously, because there's going to be food and stuff involved, you need some sort of
Head count.
rough head count.
Oh no, definitely.
So, if you didn't buy your tickets yet, definitely buy them.
Are you coming, Mike?
Yes.
Cool.
It's going to be a lot of fun. $50 is worth it just to see Paul. If you've never seen him, he's
Do you have the
phenomenal.
lineup of comics or no? Not
It's
yet.
me and Paul.
Oh, it's you and Paul.
Well, that
Okay.
includes that's
So
a lot.
Paul's
but
doing a
you're
long
getting-
set.
You're getting
Paul's doing
that,
a full set.
Oh, Paul's doing a full set.
You're
Yeah,
getting
okay.
that, and you're getting dinner, and you're getting great people.
Well, Paul doing a full set is
Yeah.
quite. This is like HBO special.
And I'm kind of doing the
Yeah.
host/feature thing, so it's not going to be a 5-minute thing. It's going to
Right, you're gonna
doing some
go
time.
too. Right, yeah. Awesome. Wow.
And then I think we're going to get him to host a bingo event.
I
You
think
he
so.
would like to do that?
Knowing Paul, I think he would enjoy it again because his heart's with the animals. He actually he sells CDs at all the shows that he does, and he puts 100% of that for the animal rescue. It's all he does, and like you said, he does it all out of his pocket. So I definitely like to see you two join forces. So I think you could help him out. I think he could help you out.
100%.
And
I'm happy to
yeah, I
have
think that's
that.
a good like a good marriage, so to speak.
Yeah, no, it sounds like a match made in heaven, actually.
So just so you know, Rough House Rescue, we gave the website already, roughhouserescue.org. Your home base, I guess, is in Oceanside,
We're in Island Park,
Island Park.
but
Okay.
we do adoptions off-site. Like we might do an adoption event at Honda. Last summer we did car dealerships, pet venues, parks, not down Hempstead parks. Different businesses invite us to come out. We've been invited by hotels in Manhattan. Harley Davidson invited us out.
I was just gonna say, I wonder if
Yeah,
Harley would
that's
do
pretty
something like
cool.
that, but I guess they
We
already
did
have.
one. We did one in Manhattan. It's rough in the city because it's hard to get around.
I
park the
can
car.
talk to the ones in Belmore. Maybe they could do something.
Yeah,
They said they like having events.
I think we've done one with them. We did. We bounce around a lot. We go wherever we can send home pets.
So does your website has all the pets available for adoption on it?
Yes, but because we have so many, they should also look on our Facebook page. And
Okay.
we always have new dogs and cats and kittens coming in. So we tell people fill out an application and come down and meet us. And we have so many great dogs. It's
Now,
really,
adoption and rehoming isn't free. What is it? What is an average adoption cost?
the adoption cost ranges from $350 to $500.
That's including the vet.
That includes making them current on their vaccinations. Anybody that's medically ill that we're aware of prior to adoption, we treat.
Okay.
Some of the dogs have to be heartworm treated.
Mm-hmm.
We have to spay and neuter them, and we microchip them. So we do everything to ready them, and then when when adopters send them home, we tell them please take them in 10 days to do a wellness checkup, make sure everything's 100%. And
Oh, so they're already
we-
spayed or neutered when you get them, because
Oh,
that's
yeah.
an expensive thing on its own that people don't even realize.
it's a minimum. That's what I'm saying. The vets,
Yeah, a vet will
The
rake
vets-
you $1,500 for that.
it's very. You'd be surprised.
Without a doubt.
So for that, I mean, you're getting a fully vetted animal, and then like we tell people, we really want you to have a vet on board that knows your pet. So if
Right.
they get sick in the middle of the night, a lot of it is just teaching people, how important it is to train a puppy or any dog or animal that you bring into your home, and making sure that you're aware of the financial commitment and the time commitment. They want to be with you.
No, without a doubt.
Even my cat used to wait at the back door when I would come in. She'd be waiting for me to they want to be with you.
Yeah.
So if you're out of the house 12 hours, we say, think about getting a cat or a senior animal. A lot of people work a lot of hours.
Oh yeah, you have to just to keep the lights
Yeah,
on.
I know they say, typically if you have an indoor cat, you should get at least 2 or another pet
Absolutely.
to keep so they have company all day.
Unless it's your cat, and then I wouldn't put it with another animal.
No, that cat died a long time. That was when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah.
That cat was a good protector, though. I'll tell
Wait,
you
do you
what.
have a cat now?
Yes, It's a much smaller. It's a house cat.
It's a friendly cat.
Very, well, it can get a little moody, but it's not going to attack you really.
No,
Why are all
his
of
great cat.
his cats moody?
I don't know.
What do you think that is?
Have-
My
have
cats
you-
were the
Well, that
sweetest
cat-
cats.
Have you ever spent any time with him?
No?
Yeah.
The
that's
cat I
why.
was talking about when I was young.
Well, you know what they say. You spend a lot of time with anybody. You
Yeah,
still become-
Exactly.
The cat I had when I was young was surprisingly the runt of the litter and became a very large cat. And it was just.
Some cats
We had
are
a dog
huge.
at the same time. My cat was the dominant one, bullied the dog,
Oh, yeah, the cats run the roost.
Yeah.
100%, that's true.
And it would just. I think it got most of its thing from just being outside and dealing with the stray dogs and the other neighborhood cats.
Doesn't
my
want to be
cat was
messed
the-
with.
The tough one in the neighborhood.
That cat was great, actually.
But my cat also would play
Tore me up
tag.
100 times, but I still liked it.
Animals are great.
And I don't know
think
who taught her. Just something. Well, actually, that cat was a him. He just learned it on his own. He came up one day, and kind of ran and just looked at me. What are you doing? So I just started doing what I was doing. Ran up to me again. So I had to chase him. Now, obviously, because we were outside, there was no way you're not catching a cat that doesn't want you to catch it. So eventually, when it saw I was losing, it would stop, let me tag, and then would come after me again. But my cat just learned that all on its own.
Oh,
so.
that's the cutest thing.
Aphrodite said she loved bingo and she wants to do it again.
Yay.
I say yes, but first come Friday because you're gonna have a lot of fun with the comedy event too. So
Yeah,
don't wanna
come
miss
down.
that.
Come down. Support the cause. Please adopt. Please adopt.
Yeah,
animals.
V is right too. My cat doesn't like when I'm on the phone with anyone. He gets very jealous. We'll come if my cat's upstairs and I'm downstairs. I'm on the phone.
You know,
she will come down and
there
come up
are
and like
cats
push the phone.
There are cat psychologists we can hook him up with.
Yeah,
There
yeah.
are. They come out. They talk to the
I
cat.
think they need to talk to him.
Well, they're gonna,
Did you
you
see
know.
that there's the one, medium that's always present?
Well, you know when the trainers say they're really training the people to train the dogs, and not really
Right,
train the dog.
that's true.
Because if you don't train the person, the dog's like, really?
I'll tell you what, my cats have always been very loyal to me though.
Yes,
They come
they
right to
have.
my side and
Yeah.
got my back. So
They scratch your back.
my cat didn't scratch me.
You did.
Cat scratched everybody else.
Oh, it took out Mike.
Oh, the old cat?
Tried
to kill you?
Oh, my God.
And I would warn everybody,
But he was-
don't touch my cat. You're better off not even petting them.
All right, but we're giving cats a
No,
bad
but-
rap.
but
Henry.
No.
He'd
Cats
rub
are
against
great.
you down at
Yeah.
your legs.
The cat was a very friendly cat, but
pet.
when you pet him, you had to pay attention to
Yeah.
him.
But
Oh
wait,
my
you're not a
gosh.
dog person?
No, I have dogs too.
Really?
I don't have one now, but
Yeah.
yeah, I've always usually had a cat and a dog. This is the first time I've just had a cat.
But he works too much. for
Yeah,
that.
I'm not home enough, and a
Yeah.
dog, it wouldn't be fair to a dog. My cat's okay with it. My cat's kind of a loner already, so
So you need
She's used to
another.
it.
So you need another cat.
uh,
We have so many beautiful.
again, it'd be taking, especially going into the summer. I'm not home a lot.
Yeah, but what's your cat's name?
Amber.
Amber.
Amber. Amber does not like other cats.
This cat's-
When my sister
We gotta
lived here,
talk.
she
We
brought
gotta
the,
talk later
if my
Mike,
sister,
about his
it.
cats.
I get it.
if my sisters brought the dogs over, it was kind of interesting. We'd come up, smell them, and then just kind of hang out. Wouldn't really play with them, but would be okay that they were there. They tried bringing another cat to the house. My cat flipped.
And was with kittens when you got him?
I did not. I'm not the one who actually adopted it. It was my mother when she was alive. She was in another home. She really
Oh,
doesn't
it's still
like.
that cat?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Doesn't really like to be picked up or
That's
anything.
the other thing. Cats live forever.
Yeah.
That's why I say be
Oh my
prepared
God,
to make
yeah,
that
that's-
20-year commitment. I know people that have had cats for over 20 years.
like the
Mine
people
never.
that
My
get
cat will
those
hang up
parrots that
and
live
lay
in
on my
years.
lap and stuff like that, but if I pick it up, sometimes he gets a little upset. With me, it's usually okay. I'll let me pick it up. But if somebody, like if you went there and it was rubbing on you, you picked it up, it flipped. It started
We
crying
have
and
very
whatever.
friendly cats and kittens that like to be picked up. We
No.
have we have a lot of our adoptable cats and kittens at Oceanside Petco. For
What is
adoption.
your view on declawing of cats?
No.
Well, they just made that illegal.
Yeah, because it
Uh,
kind of renders them defenseless if they do
And-
get out.
And you know
It's
what?
not just the claw they're taking. That's the problem.
But here's the problem.
Yeah. Oh my God, that picture freaked me out when I
But
saw it.
here's the problem, and I don't know the solution because I don't know the solution. But I remember years ago I was at an agency and they were surrendering their cat because he was destroying their furniture. And I was a kid then, and I said, "You realize, the cat's not, might not leave here alive.
Right.
You sure you want to leave the cat?" And ultimately they leave them. And that was the cat. Listen, I've gotten beautiful furniture at Pier 1 and the cats.
Oh yeah, no, they need something to scratch up.
They
without
need a
doubt.
scratching, yeah.
Yeah.
There's got to be a way to direct them off of things, and I'm sure that there is a good way to teach them.
That's one thing my cats learned right away too. They knew what they could scratch and what they couldn't scratch. We gave them scratching
I remember
post
having a cat as a
the,
kid, and he killed the couch. You know,
Yeah.
the whole side of the couch was ripped. To
Not going to
shreds.
say they haven't touched it, but then you give them the no, maybe a little squirt with the water
Squirt
bottle or
gun.
something, and
Yeah,
then
the squirt gun.
then they go scratch the post, look at it like,
Now
oh, okay, this is
now
what I'm
I'm finding
allowed.
out where the anger is coming from. He's
Yeah.
been squirting his cat.
Yeah.
No,
Exactly.
I never did it. I didn't
Didn't he
have
just
to.
say he did it?
Well, I said a little squirt with the water bottle. I didn't say I was the one who did
So
it.
he pulls out the bottle, just the gesture. The cat's like, no.
Yeah,
it
Jason,
definitely
it's
is
so
humane.
inhumane. Yeah, I
They
agree.
take out the first knuckle. And again, that's their only defense system. God forbid your indoor cat does get out and it's the claw. It's done.
Yeah, no, right.
Done.
It's it does save your furniture, and but this is stuff people need to think about when they
But
take
again,
the cat.
dogs-
They make great
when they
scratching
get them,
posts.
they get their little cute things, and even their little nails don't hurt.
I know
Yeah.
dogs that ruin furniture and
Oh no, yeah,
bit
Pee all over the
walls, bit holes into walls, chewed up electronics.
Wait, this was a happy animal show. We're talking
Yeah.
about all
Yeah,
the
yeah.
But I'm just saying,
Can
it's,
we go back to the good stuff?
Well, let's end on the good stuff because we only got a few more minutes. So, you wanted to know more about the bingo? Because I guess we can revisit.
Yes,
you want to tell them?
revisit the bingo one more time for
Tell-
people
you
who
wanna
So
tell
missed
us
our
the
next-
beginning.
so bingo is we have food, we have a huge dessert display that we put
I
out.
like the candy sushi.
It's
That was
only
really
all of our volunteers bake all that cool stuff. That was
Wow.
one of our volunteers,
Now, is
Molly,
it
that
like
baked
you
that.
you pay to get in and you get a
It's
certain amount of bingo
It's
cards?
$30. I think you get 8 games. Our last 2 prizes are the big prizes. We have 50-50. We have like 40 or 50 raffle prizes. We have cruises and trips usually. We might have bicycles, flat screen TVs, Ray Romano tickets, whatever we can get our hands on. It's really fun. It's a few hours.
And to reiterate, this is fun bingo.
This is
bingo
fun.
like
No, it's not like the psycho bingo. my mother
Okay,
used to go to.
Dennis's mom was big bingo
Oh no,
woman.
no, but don't
You
mess
can't
with.
go to those bingos and mess around. If you go,
Oh,
what number was
no,
that?
no.
Forget it.
No,
Well-
they're serious.
Remember the story my mother showed us? Somebody tried to rob the bingo hall because she knew there was a lot of cash in there, and all the old ladies went after them. They were hitting them with things,
Oh,
showing
my
the bingo
God,
cards
yeah,
out, and they ended up beating them up.
Yeah.
Are you
The
serious?
guy ran out. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
How embarrassing must it be to be
Yeah.
like some armed robber
Yeah,
that
I
got beat up by a bunch of old ladies
80-year-olds.
at bingo?
Oh,
Don't
my
mess
God.
with the bingo boards. They're
No,
gonna take.
forget it. If you whisper to what number was that?
Yeah.
The looks,
Pay attention!
yeah, the looks you get taking out their Aquanet,
Well, our-
spraying it.
And they're amazing. They'll have all their cards lay out, and they'll sit there talking.
Yeah, yeah, they use the markers.
And then they'll
It's
go back. They know
insane.
exactly.
Yeah.
No, daubers or dabbers.
Daubers,
Daubers.
Daubers, yeah, Daubers, yeah.
Get the
Oh,
terms
well,
right.
the regular
Sorry.
bingo people bring their own daubers. So
Yeah.
anyway, we do it about 4 times a year. Our next one should be again in September. We're doing our gala, so we're kind of switching up our schedule because the gala is in
Definitely
November.
reach out to us before the next one, and we will
will.
definitely like to come.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You can't beat a night of bingo and candy sushi.
it was good. The desserts are good.
Yeah. All right, so we're pretty much out of time. So again, make sure you're there Friday, the 21st. It's at the Freeport Yacht Club. Go online to get the tickets. You can go on my Facebook, go on Diane's Facebook, the Rough House Facebook, Newman Show Facebook, any Facebook you want. Anything associated with the show, there will be a link to it somewhere. Make sure you come down. It's going to be a lot of fun. Not this week Wednesday, but next Monday, I believe I'm at the Irish Pub
Yes.
doing some comedy.
Yeah.
Oh, we gotta
Also,
talk to the Irish pub.
yeah,
people.
I
Sean.
want to. I got to get you in touch with Sean, and also, make sure you check out our sponsors, like and share our show. Check out Cyclone, the show before us, In the Cage with Cyclone. He deals with all fight sports, and this week you missed before I was talking about the stuff. Of course, we know Jay and how good he is with the bikes and
Oh,
stuff.
amazing.
But Sean's got some cool stuff going on this week. Wednesday, he's got paint night.
Okay.
And again, if you want to do it, make sure you message him to reserve a spot. And Saturday, he's got a dart tournament.
Oh,
So
interesting.
we might have to take a
Okay.
ride this Saturday and
definitely go down
see if
to
he
the
can beat
Irish
me at
pub.
darts.
Anybody's welcome to try.
But anyway, thank you again for coming.
Thank you for
I will
having me.
talk to you tomorrow and definitely see you Friday. Thanks everybody for tuning in.
Thank you.
Next week, I believe we're having Pauline Murphy on, but I will confirm that and get back to you guys, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.